Hello everyone, my name is Jay Karchi. I'm the Community Manager at Bandai Namco Games America. We're here at E3 2014 talking about Lords of the Fallen. We have some members of the dev team here.
My name is Tomasz Kopp. I'm an executive producer from CA Games Warsaw.
Yeah, I'm Jan Klose from Deck 13, director from Frankfurt.
So we are here on the last day of E3. You guys have had a ton of people, a ton of fans, a ton of press come through, hands-on for the first time, really. So what's been the reaction for the game? I think it's been pretty good. What have you guys been seeing?
Pretty good. It's been really, really good. And I don't want to exaggerate. It's been the most important thing is we definitely wanted to make sure that people have fun with the game, but at the same time, there were a lot of people who doubted whether this game is actually genuinely challenging. And I think that came out pretty well, didn't it, Jan?
You guys had quite a difficult slice there. So what about this is the first time some people are seeing kind of like up close the graphics, the art style. What do you think what have people been saying about that?
Well, I think they were pretty amazed by it, so at least that's what we get out of it. And what we like about it is that they say it's something unique, it's not so generic. They can see some special art style in there, and this is what we really, really liked. So I think we like hit the spot there more or less, and we hope this is going to shine through also in the complete game when people see it.
What would you say were some of the influences of this game and the kind of the design, the mechanics? Are there any games that you would point out as influencers?
Sure, name any challenging game. A lot of people, of course, are referencing to Souls, I understand that, but it's pretty much any challenging game. If you think about the most important thing that is the reason why people play challenging games, the reward, the satisfaction, the feeling of progression, we definitely think Lords is after the same thing. But what is different about Lords is we're trying to sort of bring it in a bit smoother way, because a lot of people think that challenge is awesome, but mainstream players don't have the patience, don't have the time to get there, and we're trying to, make the path a little bit even on Lords of the Fallen, and the challenge is the same level, but we try to remove the frustrating elements.
Very cool. So I don't think we've heard very much about some of the RPG elements of the game. We've seen some beautiful screens, we've seen some great gameplay, but I don't think too many people know that much about some of the RPG mechanics. Can you pick one or two of those and tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, sure. The storyline in Lords of the Fallen is being told throughout different means. One of them is the most popular, the most obvious one, like trying to put cinematic experience over here or there, try to make dialogues that actually have choices, and trying to make the player steer the storyline, and it branches in certain places. So there are ways that are very natural for players to get into the ending of the game, one of the endings of the game actually, because the storyline does branch and we have more than one ending. But also apart from that, very important element of this is trying to find out more about the lore, a lot of the optional stuff, and trying to find details about it. You can actually find a lot of the audio notes scattered across the whole world, and they are written by a lot of inhabitants of that world, and they give you the sort of overview of what the world is, what the world's story was. And if I was to describe in a short way, is I think that there's a lot of depth in Lords of the Fallen, in the world of Lords of the Fallen, the story, and in what created this whole world. And for everybody who's going to be trying to dig deeper, it's going to be quite easy to connect the dots and join the parts. It's not too hidden.
There's people out there like myself who like these games because of the loot, or the skill trees, or the armor sets. Can you tell us a little bit about those? Give us some teasers.
Yeah, the character development in Lords is pretty much split into, I mean, it's a, let's say, artificial split, but it's generally split into three pillars. If you want to bump up your stats, there are 5 or 6, I don't remember exactly of them, like strength, like agility, and magic. And these, and you can decide how you go from the game. You can decide how you develop them. It's not bound to the class in any way. There is magic, there's supernatural skills. Each class that you choose, and this is actually bound to the class, this is locked down once you choose the class of magic at the beginning. And these are different types of magic that you could be using. Like, for example, the cleric type of class was probably going to be using regenerative magic. Rogue is going to be using very fast and critical assassination style. Warrior is going to be just brawling and tanking through the game, and so on and so on. And the last part, and I think the most interesting, definitely most complex one, is the gear. The armors, the shields, and the weapons. All of these are, there's quite a lot of them. There's around 100 of weapons that you can find in the game, apart from the armors. Armors are sets, so you can mix and match if you want to, parts of different armors. And interesting thing is, on top of that, you have crafting. So some of the elements of the gear you can actually craft. You can modify it. There are magical runes that you can imbue in the gear that has slots. Some of them do, and you can enhance it further. And that's not the only thing. Apart from that, some of the gear have perks, like unique, special abilities. There's a sword that when you hit the ground, the normal version is just super strong attack, but the perk version will send a shockwave, stuff like this.
So Lords of the Fallen is coming out for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So what kind of challenges, comments do you have about working on next-gen platforms? This is your first next-gen game, correct?
Yeah, this is the first next-gen game that both CA Games and Deck 13, so co-development, are doing right now. But I don't think there's anything that you might not have heard of yet or so far. I think that biggest challenge in producing the game, especially for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, is that we're quite early on in the life cycle of these platforms. So it's good that they are way closer to the PC that they were in a previous generation, but at the same time, all this certification, all this, the process of trying to get the game through the certain requirements of the producer, which is good because this game has to be compliant, but generally this is a fresh kind of process. This is early on, and this is probably the biggest challenge right now. Still, I'm not saying it's a tremendously huge one, but if I had to select something and extract something as the most outstanding, this would be the one.